So, yeah, let's watch some of this stuff because there is a lot of Kimberly talk. There's a lot of Kimberly talk, and I'm here to tell you that the talk is legit. Playing the beta, there's a couple things that I did kind of figure out. So I thought about some more things that I would like to see change. All right, so the fact that Kimberly has a throw loop to me is absolutely fucking insane. Throw loops in this game are already incredibly strong. Let's just take out Kimberly, right? Let's just use the word throw loop. So throw loops in the game just by themselves are like mad good. Because there's so much stuff you have to worry about in this game. Like, and I say this all the time too, the mental stack in this game is crazy. So the mental stack of everything you got to worry about, plus being in the corner, plus having to deal with a throw loop, and then you tack on what Kimberly can do to you in the corner, it's too much, bro. It's too much. Look at this sequence right now. Okay, I want everyone to pay attention to this. And we all know where Kimberly strives the most, where Kimberly's game plan really comes into play. Look at this. Okay. He's truly in the other corner. He has a drive bar and a half. Look at how far Kimberly is, okay? Look at this. All right. So now, this is a safe normal that's also plus. It's a +5 on block normal. That's crazy. He does this for the level 3, obviously, because, correct me if I'm wrong, Diaphone, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is great awareness because he's aware that he has low drive. He's still got another round. If he does level 3, he's going to get his meter back. He's going to drain some of his meter back. You get the buff. You get the whole 9. Let's watch the sequence again. Oh, my God. Diaphone, you're on the other side of the screen. Okay, all right, yo, Diaphone, keep it 100% for us in this chat. Keep it 100%. Don't lie to any of us. How good is Kimberly? Top 3. That's a fair and honest individual. Watch this. Ready? Here it comes. This right here. And the reset into the guess, into the overhead low, into the plus overhead, into the plus low. Kimberly's the best guy that guy ever wishes he could possibly have ever been in his life. Oh, wow. The small things you notice when you watch it back. Look at this. Just watch his anti-air punish. Oh, my God. So you know Kim obviously has a bunch of anti-air. She can do crouch fear. She can run stop early, run stop late. She can do Tatsu. But again, I don't know. I'm just going from what I see. I'm not Diaphone. I'm not in the gentleman's brain. But this crouching fears into a later run stop for the side switch for the corner, knowing that Louis Mana is in burnout. Oh my God, you're so smart. Watch this other thing that Mr. Diaphone does. Check out his teleport at the perfect time. So yeah, as I was saying, the fact that she even has this is kind of crazy. Dude, so good. It tracks. It's a 2-bar EX move that tracks, and it's an overhead. Now listen, I don't think there's certainly reason to say that Kim is good. I think Kim might be top 3 at this point. But that doesn't mean that Guile's not the best character so far. No one wants to watch a Guile mirror, right? So Guile really is an incredible character. He is the more solid version of Kimberly. And I say this because they're both very good characters, but they're good in different ways. Kimberly's mobility, Kimberly's options, Kimberly's mix-up obviously way outshines Guile's. It way outshines any characters in the game currently. And I use the word currently stronger because we know we're going to get a different game. So currently, Guile is easily the best character in the build. He doesn't have a weakness. Like, everything he has is just, everything is an answer. Literally everything is an answer. He's got damage. He can space you. He can mix you up slightly with Drive Rush. He's got insane buttons. Dude, Kaba, when I played Kaba, that's crazy. So Kaba does that on reaction, which is nuts. He has an insane anti-air, level 3 anti-air, which hits from wild far, by the way. This wasn't a good example of it. But that shit hits from cross court. Let's talk about Kenneth Masters. Ken is pretty good in this game. I do think that last beta, so I do think Kim and Ken, the double Ks, were both a little slept on. Ken is good, but Ken is good not like in your face good, if that makes sense. There's actually a bunch of things that make Ken good, but you got to put them all together to make him good. Like if someone just plays, oh, I throw fireballs, I do DPs, I do tornado kicks with Ken, you're not going to see the good of Ken. A good Ken player literally has to use everything that Ken has to be good. Dude, that was OD far. This is how far? Hold on. All right. He's, I don't know. He's what, 4 characters away from him? It's not that it's not easy to do. It's the fact that he has it. It's the fact that he has it and he did it against Giles. Do you know what that's going to do to like Ryu and someone with a slow fireball? You know what that's going to do to JP? My God, that poor bastard. That's a character I want to use, too. I'm going to have a real fun time. I'm just going to use Marissa and just fucking duff people out. Yeah, that's a compliment. Ken also has OD corner carry, wild corner carry. Dude's got a throw loop. Pretty good buttons. I don't know why he does drive rush right there. I know why. Because the plus buttons. Because now this is mad plus probably. So you get a double fierce without using 3 bars. Kind of smart, actually. I figured it out. I'm not as dumb as I look, guys. I'm not as dumb as I look. Let's check the frame data. So normally, he would have to do a button. So he can do like a button crush counter thing into whatever. But then he'd have to eventually spend 3 bars in order to do more damage. So he probably does this. What is this? Plus 11 on hit. So yes, he does raw drive rush there to give himself the plus frames on the stand fierce to get another stand fierce. Oh, he fucking did it anyway because LPN's a wild animal. But that's just the way LPN plays. So it actually is pretty good damage with 1 bar instead of using 3 bars, but he burnt the shit anyway like a fucking savage. That's so LPN. That is so LPN right there. Like, if anyone knows LPN, has played LPN, or knows how he plays, this is just right up his alley. Crouch jab, crouch, that right there is so good. Yeah, that's a compliment. Again, it's not that Ken is this insanely best character. It's that he has all these little things that added together make him mad fucking good. There's no one glaring thing like you'd be like, oh my God, Kimberly's like a nut. She does this, she has crazy mixed up this, that, and the third. Ken just has all these small things that when you do it right and you put it all together, it's a problem. It's a problem. Ken might be better than Ryu, honestly. I think now, I didn't think that before the beta, but I think that now. I might think that now. And again, remember, we're talking current build. I don't need the Twitter nerds to come after me that I said some dumb shit on stream. Ryu is actually cool for this game. Like, I don't think he's bad. I think he's good. But after playing like Ken in this beta and after playing other characters, I'm like, maybe Ryu really isn't that good. The problem is Ryu. I said this to Marv today, actually. Ryu is just too Ryu. I don't know how I feel about people being so willy-nilly with their drive bar. I think when I was playing Go 1, I actually played Go 1 in the set. And I watched a lot of the Japanese play when they were all grinding out the demo at Daigo's house. And I'm like, dude, they just go into they just go into burnout like it doesn't matter. I'm like, bro, I hate being in burnout. Like, there are a couple of situations where I think it's so. If you get a jump in, you land a jump in, right? And it's the start of the game, fucking round 1. You land a jump in. You want to spend your shit? I think that's probably one of the only cases where I'm like, all right, because there's a lot of positives to that negative. But let's play this whole scenario out. All right, you jump in on somebody, right? You get some fat damage. You bring them to the corner. You giving them bar, right? You're giving them meaner. He has all of his drive bar. The next thing you know, you're trying to pressure him in the corner or run away. What if you get thrown in the corner? And now you have no super bar to counter him drive impacting you to the corner to get you stunned, and now it's even. Now you get a free jumping combo with someone that has a level 1 super, and 6 stocks of drive. It's just, I don't know, dude. I am very iffy about being in burnout still. I know a lot of people don't think it's that big of a deal. I feel like I've lost more games being willy-nilly with my drive bar than I've won them. But I don't know. But look, I know that some people disagree. It seems like Japan doesn't agree either. It seems like Japan is more than willing to play in burnout, which is fine. You know, I personally do not like being in burnout. But I just think that, I don't know. I think people underestimate it a little bit. Think about it. If you land a jump in at the start of the game, right? You land a jump in, so your drive combo is 100%, especially if you use all 6 meters. So 2 cancels or EX, whatever the fuck you want to do. If you use your entire bar, you're almost 100%. You have the person in the corner, 100%. So now I guess the thought process is like, you do the combo, you got the damage. Yes, you have no drive bar, and now you got them in the corner, and now you can still pressure them a little bit to get your drive bar back. And holding forward makes your drive bar come back more. And I believe doing normals and you making them block makes your drive bar come back a little more. So it is like, it's like you're tipping the scale like this a lot, and you're just keeping the scale here. Like, no, I'm going to continue to pressure. I'm going to continue to do this, because even though I burnt all my bar, even though I'm in burnout, if I continue holding down this pressure and he's blocking, you know what I mean, like whatever. But the opponent has so much shit. He can throw you in the corner. He can just abuse drive impact on you if you don't have super or you have wild fucking reactions. There are certain like checkmate situations when you're in burnout too, where you're like, oh, I lost. So I don't know. I think there has to be a balance on the scale. I feel like swinging the pendulum too much one way is just not a great idea.
Nice jump
but
right there.
That's my opinion on it. What are the advantages and disadvantages of different ways of implementing drive rush? So you're always going to get the same amount of drive, you're always going to get the same amount of plus frames after using your drive meter. So it really depends on how you want to spend it. Like, are you spending it to close the gap and get plus frames? Are you spending it to extend your block string? Like if you press, so if you're full screen and you're dancing around doing footsies, and I feel like a lot of Kim players do this, they'll do raw drive rush into crouch medium kick because it's very fast, it comes out pretty quick, and it's plus if you block it. So that's her closing the gap and skipping neutral. Like, she benefits from closing the gap and skipping neutral. Whereas like if you drive rush mid-screen into your opponent with Ryu and press medium kick, who cares? Or crouch medium punch, who cares? You know, like it's going to be very character dependent. I'm not saying that it's not good to be in there, but when you look at a character like Kimberly, raw drive rushing in and pressing medium kick, and then do the same thing with Ryu, it's like, I don't give a fuck about Ryu doing that to me. But Kimberly doing it, it's a whole different ball game. And then I kind of feel like it works the opposite way, where like Ryu, if you, or Ken for instance, if you actually get the hit, a crouch medium kick or whatever, and you cancel into drive rush with Ken, you're getting good corner carry, 100%. You might even get a good safe jump. You can get a mix-up if you do the run flame tatsu. Like, there's going to be so many different variables to why to spend drive and how to spend drive. And that's the coolest thing about this game, if you ask me, is that the amount of player expression that drive rush gives you is phenomenal. You're going to be able to tell, like, for instance, we just watched, you can tell that is LPN's Ken. You can tell when Chris T is playing Ken. You're going to be able to tell when that's Knuckle Doo's Guile. You're going to be able to be like, oh shit, that's Kaba. Like, it's going to be very, very, very obvious as to the way people play, because you're allowed to do things with the drive meter that is really fucking cool. And a lot of it comes down to, obviously there's going to be a best thing to do, like this character does this best, so there's no way around that, but you're still allowed to express the way you want to play with the character yourself with drive. So I hope that answered your question. I try to keep it as simple and like more from my brain. Might not be factual, it's just more what I think about when I think about drive. Everything I say by all means is not word of law in the slightest. It's just my feelings on things, so please do not take my word for law at all. I'm probably the last person you should listen to, actually. I advise you all to not listen to me at all. about probably anything. But if you ask a question, I'm still going to say how I feel about it.
Drop.